Hey guys, so last night we had a little bit of a snow event here, and we had to do just a little bit of plowing, not much, but we had some destruction go on to one of our plows. So I don't exactly know how we're gonna fix it. I've never had to deal with this before, so I thought I'd make a video and take you guys along and show you guys how I'm gonna do it, or if I can figure it out. So what happened here is, as you can see, this part here is supposed to be attached inside here and as well welded on the bottom. If I clean some of this stuff off, you can see in here where all the welds go. So yeah, the wing kind of just flops around now. You can see. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get the wing off. Luckily I do have a parts plow outside. One of our other ones, the whole hydraulic assembly went bad on it, but we kept the frame. So I think I should be able to just take this wing off and put that one on and change over all the pieces, and we should be good to go. But first thing I want to do is bring our skid steer in here and lift this thing up and kind of get a jack stand underneath it, so we have a little bit more space to work. So let's get that done. All right, so we got it up on the jack stand. I ended up just putting the forks underneath the wings at the front and then lifting it up, and then we got our jack stand underneath here out of the way so we can work now. And now you guys can probably see the destruction a little bit better. This is supposed to be attached. Right. So I think this little hat on the top comes off just with a couple of nuts and bolts on the back here, and we'll probably take our cylinder off and then probably crack the line so that we can retract the rod inside, and then hopefully the center pin comes out, and then we can bring our parts plow in that I told you guys about earlier, that's outside, and repeat the process, and then hopefully put that wing on this plow, and then it'll be good to go. So let's see what happens. All right, so first things first, we're gonna take the pin out of the bottom of our cylinder here. I mean the cotter pin, take it out of there, and we should be able to slide our pin out of the cylinder. Next thing that we'll do is we'll take the little hat off the top. It's a 14 millimeter, so I got an impact and a wrench. One. This one probably need a ratchet to do it. So we got the top off. Last thing that I want to do is I want to crack the line. Probably gonna make a mess here, but see what we can do. Just crack the line, and hopefully we are able to put the wing in. Maybe not. Oh, these ones are the dual action rams. So we'll probably have to crack the line under here as well. there we go. We were able to collapse the cylinder completely. So now I don't know what my plan is next. So once I figure it out, I'll get back to you guys. All right, so I don't really know what's gonna happen here, but I'm just gonna start hammering this pin out, and then hopefully this punch replaces the pin, and then we're able to kind of hold the wing in place and then see what happens. So I don't know, let's see. So that worked better than I expected. So now we got to take off the other side. Yeah. All right, so I think I figured out what we're gonna do. So now that you can see the pin has started to come out, I should be able to hammer underneath the lip here and get the pin to go all the way out. So I think we're gonna put the plow back on the ground, take our jack stands out, so that once we hammer the pin out, the wing isn't just gonna drop. So we're gonna get the machine back in here, lift it up, and then get the jack stands out, drop it down, and then hopefully we can get this other side wing off. Now we've got the plow back on the floor. I'm just gonna try and hammer this pin out, and hopefully the wing stays exactly where it is and we don't have to mess with it. So let's see. Perfect. There we go. So that's our center pin. It's actually pretty bent. We might replace it. We'll see what happens. And now everything is right. Broken piece should come on out. So that's our broken piece here. You can see all the welds are broken and it's pretty rotten as well. So and up here as well is another weld that broke. This plow is from 2008, so I think, what is that, 16 years? So it's held up pretty good, but luckily we do have a parts plow that we can use to just replace it, so we'll get it back up and going again. So this is the parts plow that I was talking about, that we're going to be taking the wing off. So let's get it inside and we'll take the wing off, switch over all the parts and put it back together. So basically just gonna take this wing off of this one. I already showed you guys everything to do, so I'll just fast forward through this and then I'll catch up with you guys when it comes to switching over the cutting edge and the springs and stuff like that. All right, so we got our donor wing here and our broken one over here. As you can see, we got to replace our cutting edge and our springs and everything. So basically you just take these bolts out. There isn't too much pressure on the spring right now, so you just undo the nut and you kind of punch it out, and you can just wiggle your punch back out. There's not too much pressure on there. To get them back in, it's easier to do it when it's hooked up on the plow. So we'll get that done. And then I am gonna get a new center pin for the plow, because this is the one off our donor plow and you can see it's cracked and it's all messed up. So that one's no good. And then if you can see here, I don't kind of know how to show you guys, but yeah, there you go, you can see it. This one's all bent. I think the pin's like 70 bucks. So I'm gonna go pick that up, and then we will replace all of our cutting edge components from here. It's kind of funny because last year I took all the cutting edge and everything off of this plow and put it on this one, and now I'm taking it back off of here, putting it on here, but it is what it is. So let's get all this done. All right, so to take the springs out, I got a 19mm wrench and then a 17mm socket on the impact. Little baby wasn't doing anything, so I had to go get Big Papa. Cutting edge is there. Next thing you got to do is 4 pins across the bottom here. Just got to remove our cotter pins, and then the whole cutting edge slides out. So there we go. Now we got all the pieces off that we need. So this one slide out of the way, and then we can work on putting our donor wing together. All right, so now we got our cutting edge pins back in, and I put new cotter pins in all of them. If everybody has any tips on how to bend like big cotter pins a little bit easier, let me know, because I always struggle with these big cotter pins. But other than that, we got our new center pin here. So now we're just going to bring this wing over and line it all up, and then try and get our pin through the center of everything. And last thing we got to do is we got to put our springs back on. So once the wing's on and kind of secured, then it's easier to get those on. I'll show you how we do that. All right, so now that we got our center pin in, you kind of just got to wiggle your wing around and line everything up. As well, we got our top hat thingy back on. So next thing we got to do is we got to get these springs reinstalled here. So you can just slide them in by hand, but the problem is that down here, if you see, like, the bolt hole doesn't line up with the hole on your cutting edge like frame. So I don't recommend you do this, but this is how I do it. And it's that you just get a jack underneath the edge here, and you kind of jack it up a little bit, and you compress the spring. And then since we have our cylinder still disconnected from the wing, we're able to kind of wiggle it around just with our hand here, pushing on the side, and line up the bolt hole, and then we can get our bolt through. So yeah, just be careful if you guys are doing this, because obviously you're putting tension on the spring and it can go flying, but this is how I do it. So yeah. So there you go. I just used a pry bar, and you can see we got our bolt in there through the frame. As well, it helps to get something to put some pressure on the wing so that it's easier for the spring to compress. So yeah, just gonna do that with the other side, and then I will get back to you guys. Okay, so there we go. We got all of our springs on in the back, 1 and 2. We got our bolts in the bottom as well. Over here, we got our, see if I can get you guys in there. We got our pin reinstalled in our cylinder, as well as we tightened up all of our lines. So yeah, this thing is good to go again. The only thing I did notice is that over here on the other side, as you can see, we got a crack here. So I'm going to clean all of it out in the back here, and then get it welded up. But other than that, this plow should be good to go. Last thing that we got to do is just obviously get it back on the truck and bleed the hydraulic system, because we did crack the line to get the cylinder to move. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the harder things that I've done on these fishers. You kind of need a little bit of equipment to help you lift and hold some stuff down, especially to get those springs back in the back of your cutting edge. But yeah, if you guys have done this before and you have an easier way than you saw me do today, please let me know, because yeah, getting those springs in the back was pretty tough. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys like stuff about fixing snow equipment, I got a whole bunch of other videos on it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next video.